Hi guys, this is Yame Wilfred, the host of It Was Never Personal with Yame Wilfred, the podcast. Welcome to the podcast. It was never personal. It's always been love, laughter, music, dance, colors, role playing, balance, awareness, authenticity, not taking the ego too seriously, taking life too seriously, not making anything personal. It is all about realizing that this is a dream, an illusion that you and I get to co create with a power higher than us. It was never personal. Tune in to get inspired, motivated, and mostly importantly, find ways to love yourself and do so with laughter and joy. This is nothing new. You won't learn anything new from this. It may sound new only because we have forgot what we once knew, and I'm here to remind us of that which we forgot. It was never personal. So before I start on today's episode, I'd like to encourage you as a listener to listen with an open mind, or rather an open heart. Keep your mind open. Don't listen to the thoughts or the resistance that your mind may put you at as you listen to the podcast, because a lot of things that will be said or whatever that I may say right now, I feel like because we don't actually talk about these things, we don't actually get to the to the root cause of a lot of things that we as human beings experience. Because we don't talk about it, I feel like it may be hard for the mind to contemplate or understand it. So don't be attached to your mind, or rather listen with an open heart, connect, and just don't feed into the resistance. Yeah. So on today's podcast, the first episode, which is about self-awareness, actually. And before I start, I'd like to thank each and every one of you who's tuning in. Thank you for giving me your time. And I do this just to help you and help anyone who really finds this useful. And in doing so, in helping you and giving you the love, I also give myself the love. So it's actually you helping me to help myself. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate it, and I do care about you. Thank you. Yeah. Like I was saying, the first episode will be about self-awareness. And the self-awareness that I'm going to talk about over here is not the conventional self-awareness whereby we talk about the personality or whatever that makes up your personality, the ability to know what you like, what you don't like, to know your strengths and weaknesses, what you are good at, like sports that you're good at. And those things, I believe that we can do that at school, but like I said, here we are going to talk about things that are not talked about. Yes. So the self-awareness that I'm talking about is actually much more of a higher level than that. Yeah. On a personal level or on a practical level, it's very good to know what you like, to know your personality, and things of that sort is very important. But what I'm going to do here goes more into depth. So without wasting time, let's start. What is self-awareness? So to me, self-awareness constitutes of a lot of things, but I'll give you some of the explanations that I know have helped me to understand it. It is the ability to realize who you are beyond your history and life situations. So the ability to recognize who you are beyond your history, like whatever that you did in the past, whatever that happened to you in the past, whatever that has been said about you in the past, whatever you said about yourself or believed about yourself in the past, that's history. And that, if you are able to be aware of that, or recognize that, or realize that you are beyond that which has occurred in the past, then you are self-aware. And the ability to realize who you are beyond your life situation. Like, I believe that everyone, even right now, every one of us is going through something. The relativity or the intensity of what we are going through vary. Right now, I'm feeling very peaceful. So what I can say that I'm going through maybe would be something of little magnitude, like, oh, I have to clean the house. Yeah, I have to clean the house. You know, yeah, it takes effort to do that, but it really ranges from cleaning the house to something like, oh no, I'm in debt. I just failed my test. I just realized that this relationship with my friend is not working out, so the magnitude of it really is great is grand. There's a really high range of it. Or another life situation can be, right now I'm sick, right now I'm going through pain, right now I don't have the luxury of buying things that I want to buy. Yeah. So, but being self-aware is the ability to really recognize that actually I'm not my sickness. Actually, I'm not my thought which says I have to clean, and if I don't clean, it means that I'm what? Okay, that I'm untidy, or I'm a dirty person. Yeah, on a practical level, it do applies, but really, are you a dirty person? No, it just doesn't mean like that. You failed your test, and then it's like, the feedback is like you're a failure. And then being self-aware, you are able to go and really detach yourself from that label of a failure and realize that you are not the failure, you're just experiencing the failure. So that is your life situation. It's not personal. And self-awareness can also be described as an ability to create a space between you and your thoughts and your experiences. Like I was saying, you failed a test and you are able to really create a space by being aware and observing how you feel, the thoughts that come up after you really have failed a test. And usually there are negative thoughts, after failing a test, because, we all want to succeed. You want to be your best, but at that moment you have failed, you have not really been your best. So being self-aware, you'll be able to really create a space between the test paper or the thoughts about the test paper which you have failed, and just be aware of those thoughts. That is being self-aware. Uh, it is also the ability to get in touch with that witnessing force of the life situation you're going through. What I mean is that if you are aware, you'll be able to recognize that, oh, actually, there are two things over here. There is the awareness, and then there's situation. There's the test paper, the thoughts about the test paper, and then there's this thing which is actually in the knowing of, in the observation of, which is an awareness of that thought. So if you're self-aware, you'll be able to get in touch with that awareness, because that's actually who we are. It is just the ability to see yourself from outside yourself. Yeah. And it takes the ability, or the guts and the courage to really be able to note, or get in touch, get within, and go and observe whatever that you are feeling, the thoughts that you are feeling, because thoughts create forms, and then the forms become your life experience, whatever that you are feeling, your emotions. Yeah. And then we tend to really confuse these two things with who we are, but we are not the experience, we are that which is experiencing the experience. But why is self-awareness? Why am I talking about self-awareness? I'm talking about self-awareness because self-awareness, first of all, is self-love. If you love yourself, you will know that you have to know yourself before you can start loving yourself. And self-awareness is actually the ultimate purpose of life. We are just here to resurrect. We are just here to die and be reborn again. And that we do it via self-awareness, knowing how you feel, knowing what your thoughts are composed of, knowing the the experience that you're having, being aware of it. Yeah, that is the ultimate purpose. And you cannot, if self-awareness is self-love and you are not self-aware. Okay, if self-awareness is self-love, it means that we have to be self-aware in order to love ourselves. And if you love yourself, you'll be able to love another person. So you cannot love another person if you don't really love yourself, because you're not self-aware. So it's really important for us to really be self-aware. Hence, I really brought it to this podcast. That's the first episode. And the other thing that is very vital about self-awareness, I know that this really happened for me. After really getting self-aware, I was able to really have fun. Life became life became a joy ride. It became a joy ride that comes with there's challenges, there's up and downs, and the downs are challenges. But with self-awareness, I was able to really create a space in which I remember that I'm experiencing this, and it may be painful, but I'm actually just experiencing it, and I need to, because it is via the experience of the challenge that I'll get to know myself. And it takes a lot of hard work, but it takes a lot of hard work and responsibility. Hence, a lot of people are not really willing to be self-aware, but we all want to have this sense of peace. We all want to be happy. We all want to be at a state of high vibration, as I always like to put it. So being self-aware, you'll be able to know that you are that thing which is in witness of life situation. Life isn't to be taken too seriously or too personal. It was never that serious. I always say that it was never personal, because if you are aware, or I don't know if you're aware of this, the fact that you're going through something, it doesn't mean that I'm not going through something. We are all going through something. All life forms are going through something. Life is hard on every little thing, non-living or living. No matter how you look at it, I'm going through something. Someone else there is going through something. Even people with money, with phones, with there's luxury, are also experiencing things. Even people who are always living in their houses and not doing anything, they have something to deal with. Life will always give you challenges. So we are all experiencing the same thing. It was never personal. It's not like you are singled out, or you are being chosen by life or something out there to get you and say, you know what, I'm going to treat this one unfair. No, 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 no. We all get to have challenges, so it was never personal. With that in your mind, or with that in our minds, we can always remember to not take it personal, and be in tuned or aligned with the present moment, and be able to meet the challenges, because challenges are actually just lessons for us to really learn about ourselves. Yeah. So self-awareness is that the ability to realize who you are beyond your history, beyond your history and beyond your life situations, your life experiences, your thoughts. Yeah. The ability to realize that you are that which is observing all of these experiences, all of these emotions. We are that. So that is that about it. In the second segment of self-awareness, we are going to talk about who we are. Because we are not our history, we are not our life situations, we are not our thoughts, we are not our experiences. Then who we are, right? That is a very great question to really answer, I believe. I would like to say this. The real you is infinite. The real I is infinite. We are infinite. We are made of energy, and energy is never destroyed. Yes, that is that. That is really like the baseline of it. But in actual fact, I would say let's not define who we are. Don't define yourself. You don't have to really define yourself, because if you define yourself, then you limit yourself. So it's not really about getting too deep to get too secure, because the mind wants to be secure and be comfortable, and get that sense of comfortability, a comfortable zone to go and say, yeah, I know who I am, and then attach attach its sense of self to that something. But we cannot really define infinity, or something which is infinite. We are just an extension of the power that created the entire universe, and some call it God. But who really is God? I don't know, and I don't want to really go in and explain that, but I know that I'm an extension of that energy that really created the entire universe. That is the real you and I. That is who we are. We are just spiritual beings having a human experience. Yeah. I just gave 4 to 3 to 4 explanations over there. So if you listen, if you didn't get it, I'll repeat it. We are made of we are the infinite energy, right? We are the infinite uh thing. I don't know what to call it. I really don't want to define it. Hence, you are not subjected to really define who you are. You, if anything, you are an extension of the power that created the entire universe, you know. And I always like to say I am everything and nothing at all. That is what I read to myself in the morning, you know, just to remember it, because it can happen that I go through something and then I wake up. Oh yeah, usually I read it in the morning and even before I go to bed. So maybe I had a rough day, or maybe I had a very hype day, like really hype, and then I get to read it. I'm everything and nothing at all. Oh, it reminds me to really detach or have a space between the experience and me, because usually our feelings and our thoughts come from the experience. You know, you are happy because you are going through this, and you think positively or negatively about the experience. Hence, you have positive or negative emotions. You know, but if you're not self-aware, you will attach yourself to the experience, think that you're the experience, think that you're the thought, think that you're the feeling. But that's not who you are. You are everything and nothing at all. You know, the everything can be the human, the nothing can be the being, you know, the God, which is all in us. So, with that said, I like to also say another way to define who we are. I can do it in a what is it? In a counteractive manner, like saying we are not our conditioned self. We are not the mind-made self, the pseudo self, because the mind-made self, or this image of who we are that we have in our head and we believe, is made up of the past, whatever that happened to us in the past, whatever that has been said to us in the past, whatever that has we said and believed ourselves as we were growing up, you know, learning how to navigate the journey. Whatever that happened in the past, we are not that. We are not the thoughts that get to make up this mind-made self or this pseudo self. We are not the ideas that we get to really tell ourselves. We are not the concepts. Yeah, we are not our grades, because as students I believe that the reason why we are some may have like pride. They may have pride, and it's okay to have pride. It's fine, you know. You can be proud of performing well and stuff like that. It's okay, but don't overdo it. You know, you should just, everything should be in balance. Nothing should be in excess. So learning how to really have pride, but balancing it, you know, being aware of it, you know, because you would know that I'm not my 100%. I always say that I'm not my 100%. I'm performing well, but this doesn't add to this, doesn't add up to my sense of self, you know, because I believe that we have students who are doing so well, so exceptionally well, but they they then give off this energy and attitude of I'm unbreakable, or I am better than you. But honey, don't explain yourself, don't define yourself using your experience, using your results, because you are not that. You are just that which is experiencing that. Even though you created that, you are not that. You're just experiencing that. Yeah. So the same goes out to students who really feel like who are not doing well in school, because and that's a very big one, because they will then commit suicide, be depressed, anxious, miss school, do a lot of things that are just increasingly adding up to them not performing well, you know, because they have attached their sense of self to the grades they see on the paper. You get a 40% and then you feel like, you know, I'm a failure, I don't know anything. You just start believing on those thoughts, those negative thoughts, you know, just like the one with pride will believe on those positive thoughts that come and say, you know, you got this, you're doing it, you know, you are better than others. Yeah, it's just the ego. It's just the pseudo self because it is made up of those thoughts. So you're not your grades. We are not our possessions. We are not our culture. We are not our belief systems. Yeah, and don't get me wrong. All of these concepts that we use are useful. They are useful on a practical level. They're very useful because we use them to really interact and get things moving on this world. Imagine if there was no there was if we didn't have the concept of time, the concept which we call time, like, okay, right now the time is 11 a.m. and then I'm here recording because I've scheduled that at 11 a.m. during this day I will be recording my podcast. If I didn't have the concept of time, would I be here? No, I wouldn't. Maybe I would have just flown and just maybe went 5 hours and then past 11 and then the sun sets and I'm like, oh no, I just forgot to do the podcast. Imagine meeting your friends and then we don't have a concept of airport junction. Without the concept or the concept which is a location that is the airport junction, would you be able to really meet if you didn't know that concept? Yeah, you wouldn't be able to meet. Maybe it would take like 100 years or something like that. So we really do need concepts. Yeah, we need them. We need our culture because with our culture we can be able to navigate, interact, be able to have that sense of socialism because we're social beings. We do get to create a lot of things. So concepts, ideas, and whatever, it's okay on a practical level, but on the real truth or on a deeper level, it doesn't really, they don't matter. They don't add up to who we really are. So now self-awareness is there to really create a space between that concept and the real you, which is you, the awareness that is aware of itself as it experiences this concept. For example, culture. You see, yeah. So we need them. It's not like I'm trying to say, let's get it out. Yeah. But like I was saying, if you're not self-aware, if you don't know who you are, you're going to mistake that experience that you're having, the guilt that you're feeling, to who you are. You're going to say, okay, because I feel this way, that means that I've done this bad thing, and then you shame yourself, you self-loathe yourself, and then you believe that is who you are. You may end up just taking up your life because you've just confused yourself or identified with that feeling. Yeah, and it's painful. But like I said, we don't talk about this, so we don't really get to know about that. So like I said, don't define yourself. You don't have to define yourself. Don't let other people define who you are, and don't believe in whatever people are saying to define you. Don't believe in what you're saying about yourself to define you because it's temporary. Everything on this life right now that we're experiencing is temporary. So you wouldn't want to really limit yourself to something which is temporary when the real you is infinite. Yeah, that's about it. And another thing about who we are one. The you and the I are really one. What I mean is that as Christians, we use the phrase we are sons and daughters of God. So I guess it will be easy for Christians to really get it when I say that we are one because the father and the mother, oh, the father and the son, or the parent, right, which is God. If we are sons and daughters of God, it means that we are linked to him somehow. Yeah, like I always say, we are an extension of the power that created the entire universe. We are all coming from the one source. So in essence, we are one. There's no you and I over there, but we are just having to experience this life using different manifestations, which I can account for using our personalities. Our personalities are different, but personalities come from how we experience life, the life that we are creating. So in that level of personality, we are different. Yes, on the personal level, we are different, but in real essence, we are one because we all come from the same source of life. You know, And with that, you would be able to really understand what is meant by love, or love your neighbor as you love yourself, because it's actually just realizing that you and I share the same essence, being able to recognize the you in me, and me being able to recognize myself within you, being able to oversee or go beyond your personality and realize that behind you there's that essence that I have, that innocence that I have, but it is so obscured by this personality, which sometimes I may like if you're my friend, and sometimes I may dislike if you if I regard you as my enemy, yeah. But being able to really go over that, or go beyond that, or really overlook the other's personality and see that actually they're just that's just the same as you. That's love. That's who we are. We are love. We are an extension of love. And we are here to just give and receive love and return to love. Yeah, that's that. So we are done with talking about self-awareness, defining it, and defining who we are, which is actually tricky because, like I said, you don't have to refine yourself, you don't have to really give self definitions. So with that said, we are going to move on to a section where we talk about how do you really get to be self-aware of yourself, or get to be self-aware. Yeah. First of all, I like to really say it out there, because a lot of times people get a sense that, okay, if we get to talk about mental health, if we get to talk about life, the main message is life doesn't have to be hard. Life doesn't have to feel hard. Well, I'm here to say it different. Life is hard. Yeah, that's a fact. Life has to feel hard. Yes, that's it. But you can change it. Your perspective can change it. The tools that I'm giving out over here, the information that I'm giving over here won't make life to stop being hard. It won't make you from waking up one day or during one day and then you start feeling like, oh no, okay, this is gone again, this is beginning, I'm beginning to feel there's things that I don't want, challenges are coming. Like, no, 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 no. Being self-aware doesn't mean that you won't have to face life challenges, but it will give you ability to recognize how much pain you are in, and get to be in touch with your inner saboteur, get to be in touch with that part of your mind that really is there to really bring you down. Be in touch and face your fears, which is very painful, but you have to really pass that fire before you can say, okay, I'm self-aware. you know it's not a destination, by the way. It's not a destination, it's a progress. It's an endless progress. Why is it an endless progress? Because it happens now. It happens right now. It doesn't happen. It won't happen tomorrow. It's not something that you would do tomorrow. You would have to do it right now, here, and be present right now and say, how am I feeling? What am I thinking? What is it that I'm attached to? Oh, I'm attached to my religion in a way that I'm not willing to really be friends with someone who doesn't share the same religion as me. You see, that is what you really, because you really think that you are your religion, and then you cannot really give love to the other who really doesn't identify with your religion. So it is really hard to do that, but you have to do that, but you do it really right now, being present in this moment. You don't have to really go back and start thinking about what happened, what they said, what you said, what the religion has. No, 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 no. You just have to really do it here in this moment. And being here in this moment is really hard, because our mind, the pseudo self, doesn't really want to be present, because it doesn't really get its sense of self from this moment. Because in this moment, we are nothing. We are just that energy which is experiencing the now. But the mind, the ego, doesn't really want to be here and present in this moment. So it will rather cling on to the past, or cling on to the future, because it can use the past and say, oh, I know this, so I'm this. And that it's just a vicious cycle. But trying to be here in this moment is really hard, but you have to do it in order to be self-aware. It's painful to really see yourself from outside yourself, because you would realize, I have this I have this personality, I have this thought, I have this idea, I have this concept that I've been really believing and I'm attached to. I thought I thought that because I have money, it adds up to my sense of self. And now that I don't have money, I feel so depressed, I feel so anxious, you know, because I was so attached to what people say about me, to the validation that I seek from outside, from people telling me how I look, because I'm so really in need of that, because I really identify with what people say about me and define the way that they define me. I feel miserable whenever somebody tells me that I'm not beautiful. I am, or when I'm rejected, or when people don't want me, don't want to be around me. So because of those thoughts, just being self-aware is really like that. You get to be outside yourself and see yourself from outside yourself, and it's painful because you get to see those personalities that you really don't want. But you have to get through that fire for you to be able to, at the end of the day, be self-aware and love yourself. you know like, it's it's really important. Yeah, it's really important, because we need to get we need to be self-aware. And the main challenge of getting to be self-aware, like I said, is being present. Number one, really working it right here, not working it tomorrow, not working it the next day there, not working it from something that happened 5 years ago, just right here. Because actually, if you are aware, you would know that your body will just give you whatever that you need to work on, because you have feelings, you have thoughts. Just work on those thoughts that are really happening right here. But the ultimate challenge that we will face when trying to be self-aware is to figuratively die and be reborn into our higher self, the real essence of ourself. Because dying means letting go of those attachments, those concepts that we have attached our sense of self to. The mind doesn't want to do that. We don't want to let go of the idea that um, a good person, or the idea that I'll be good and great if I excel. No, just because you're not doing well in school doesn't mean that you don't deserve to be here. You know, just because you don't have the luxury of having a car, having waking up in a house that is spacious and stuff, doesn't you don't have money, you don't have possessions, it doesn't mean that you don't deserve to really experience this life. No, you deserve it, because the experience is not you. And actually, if you are self-aware, you will really know that um, I'm not my religion, I'm not my gender, I am not my thoughts, I'm not my feelings, I'm not my life situation. So, in that sense, if you create that space from the experience and yourself, within that space, you would be able to acquire the power, the energy to create the type of life that you really want to create, and stop the the drama of being in conflict, the drama of killing other people, making other people enemies, dehumanizing other people. You will stop it. You will stop self-loathing yourself. Yeah, you would understand that depression, or you are depressed because you're actually reacting to what is happening in the world right now, because the world is crazy. The world is so crazy, and we have crazy thoughts too. Don't think that the world is crazy and you're not crazy. Oh, we are crazy. The ego is so crazy. you know so you are anxious, you are passing through that anxiety moment, because guess what? We are not self-aware as a collective. We are not self-aware as individuals. So we really have to work through on it. We have to see the patterns that we do, the things that we do in a pattern that gets us to really continuously recreate those emotions, recreate those experiences that we don't want to have. So with self-awareness, you can really change your situation. You see? Yeah. So that is actually being able to die and be reborn 1,000 times, by the way, 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times. It's infinite. Like I was saying, it's not a destination. It happens now, and the now, this present moment, is always continuous. Whenever you think about the past, you think about it right now. It's not like you evaporate or vanish into 5 years back. No, you really think about it right now. You know, it's not like if you think about the future, or when the future arrives, when you get to really graduate, when you get to have that piece of house that you want, whenever that you get to arrive where you want to arrive in the future, you will arrive there right now. Because right now, is the future there? No. Is the past there? No, no. It's we are here right now. So both of these two worlds, which the mind lives in, the past and the future, if you experience them, you experience them right now. But you would not realize that you're experiencing them right now if you are not self-aware. That is, if you're not able to create a space between that thought about the past or the future and yourself, which is the energy which is really in witness of that experience or thought. So it is the dying and being reborn 1,000 times, million times. Like, it's endless. You die again, be reborn, and then you learn another thing, die again. Dying means that you get to be detached from that idea or that concept, that definition that you've really limited yourself with, and you'll be able to really not take life too personal. Yeah, that is it. Now, what are ways in which we can really make self-awareness more easier? Well, what I use is meditation. I use meditation, prayer, exercise, reading books, and a lot of things. Like, it's whatever that I can learn, whatever that I really get sent through by the universe, I really accept it, and I just, oh, okay, this works for me. Let me see if it works, and then if it works for me, then I use it. For example, like meditation, I love it. I have started meditating when I was 14 years old, doing form 2, but back then I was just doing it in a very, very wrong way, because I thought meditating, you have to I thought you had to be, what is it? It was so crazy how I thought about it. I thought it has to be this perfect, serene thing. I have to be in the moment of feeling. I thought I should do it in a dark place, quiet place. I should do it. Yeah, it was so crazy. Like, but when I was 18 years old, oh no, it became a different experience. That is when I started meditating, you know, because then I was able to really realize it's not about me sitting in the lotus position. It's just me sitting, laying down, or doing whatever, just being sitting still and being able to be the watcher, or the observer, the witness of my thoughts. Thoughts will come and go, just like in everyday life. But in everyday life, it's hard to be in a meditative or meditation session because the mind is active. We are in classes, we are working, you are doing something. So it's actually hard to really focus on two different things at the same time. So now you get to sit down and really now focus on your thoughts and go, okay. So I'll be sitting down and then I'm like, okay, there I say it. So I have to finish my lab report. Okay. I let it go. Oh, I have to eat. I let it go. Tomorrow I'm going somewhere. I let it go. This is happening. I let it go. This is I think, I thought about this. Like, a lot of thoughts. And the thoughts are not really like, how do I say it? Before I say this, I don't judge the thoughts. I don't judge them. What I mean is that even if a thought comes as negative, as in, why did that girl say that to me? Why did that boy say that thing to me at class today? I didn't like it. That's just a thought. I let it go. I don't cling on to it and say, hey, come back over here, let me assess you. Actually, you know what? He said this because of this. I don't do that. No, no, no. I let it flow. It's like I'm sitting beside a riverbank and I'm allowing the water to flow. And each molecule of water, I let it go. I don't really want to say, oh no, I like that piece of molecule of water. I like that stream of water. I want it to just stay over here. I let the water flow while I'm sitting beside the riverbank. The riverbank is my thoughts, and I am the witness of the thoughts. So that is meditation, and it's hard. I know that a lot of people feel like it's hard because they get to really think about things that don't sit well with them, like negative emotions and a lot of bad negative thoughts. But that is actually what is happening. You have to allow it. Just allow the mind to be, and the mind would go from negative to positive, positive to extremely negative to extremely positive, like all of that. And if you are able to be aware of that, you really uncomfortable with meditating because of that reason of, I get to see my negative thoughts, and you run away. You're just running away from an opportunity because it's there. That's a challenge. So come and be self-aware. Just let the emotions go. Get the thoughts to go, because as I let my thoughts go and not attach to them and not assess them or actually judge them as they come when I'm sitting down, I'm actually learning how to detach myself from experiences and thoughts. I'm breaking that chain of what? Attachment, thinking that, oh, these thoughts have something to say about me. You only feel so I will feel so uncomfortable with meditating because of that thought. Or let me say, I'll feel uncomfortable with meditating because I believe that when a negative thought comes and I see it and I start to feel bad, I feel bad because I believe that thought. Why do I believe it? Because I think that thought is me. You see? So if I let that thought to really go, it means that I'm not attached to that thought. You see, I get to really realize, oh no, I'm just here to experience this thought, to really be in awareness of the thought. Yes. Is it easy meditating? No, nothing is easy. Nothing is easy. Even doing nothing is easy, because how do you not do nothing with your thinking brain? So meditating is about calming the mind down. But you cannot really do meditation if you're not prepared to really take that responsibility of believing or accepting that it won't be easy. So another thing that I really do to be self-aware is that I try to be present in this. I've always tried to really revisit the present moment and ask myself, how am I feeling? What is my relationship with this moment right now? I have a group of friends around me, but how am I feeling about being with this group of friends who are around me? Because we have thoughts as we interact. So I have to really be that awareness which is in the background, and be aware of that which I'm experiencing, and that entails my thoughts, that entails what my friends are saying. So I have to listen to them with a sense of awareness. And whenever I listen to my friends, I like to really, like, not even my friends, like everyone, I like to give them my attention, because actually I believe that the power that created the universe has something to say to me via my friend, via my lecture, via my Instagram reel, via anything, via the interaction that I really do encounter. Like, even if I pay the man on the combi seven pula, and then he says something, or maybe I pay him 50 pula and then he says something, like, I really have to be attentive and listen to him and go, just to listen to him and be that which is aware of it. It's not easy, no, it's not easy. Like I said, it's not easy, because sometimes I come from maybe home from school with a very cluttered mind because it was very hectic. And then I won't be able to really give my attention to my mom when I get home and she's really talking to me, you know. Yeah, but it's always a fight about really returning to the present moment and giving your attention to what is happening right now. Because in fact, in actual fact, what is happening right now is what you need. Or else why would you experience it? Why would you, if you are listening to this podcast and you're really not attentive, you're just missing out on what you really need, because that is actually what is happening right now. You know, you listening to the podcast. But if you go into your thoughts and then you think, what can I do? I think maybe I should go and eat, maybe I should go and do this. You're just belittling the present moment. You are belittling whatever that you are being given by life to experience at this present moment. So being self-aware, you really have to really do that. Return to the present moment. And another thing that I do is actually whenever when I wake up, I get in touch with how I feel. When I sleep, before I sleep, I get in touch with how I feel. I have to really know it. I have to really know how I feel when I wake up and when I sleep. Why is it important to really do that? It's important because I know that feelings come from thoughts. Like thoughts create forms such as feelings and emotions. How I feel has to do with how I think. And how I think has to do with my perspective about something that happened or a situation that happened. And it is really about the present moment. How I feel has nothing to do with this present moment, because I am nothing. I'm nothing. I'm attached to nothing if I'm in the present moment. But because I'm attached to the past, because I'm attached to what might happen, what has happened while I was in school, or when I was really young, or something that happened 2 weeks ago, or something that might happen 2 weeks later because of what happened 2 weeks ago. Because I'm really attached to that, like I'm focusing on the future and the past, I get to feel emotions that have nothing to do with the now, like the present moment. So I really go in, and I can do it actively sometimes, but it's not really about you actually asking yourself aloud, saying, how am I feeling? But you can do it, even if you do it within yourself and just really say it within and say how you are, asking yourself, how are you feeling? It works. How am I feeling? So I'll be like, okay, how am I feeling? Oh, I feel this emotion. Is it positive or negative? Okay, it's negative. Why is it negative? Oh, because of this thought. This is the thought that really led me to this. And usually the thought has to do with something that is not happening right now. Like even if I get home, because I get home maybe like, let's say I get home at 4 p.m. and then I have to sleep at 7 p.m. And then at 5:30 when my sister comes or someone who I live with comes, or my mom comes, and then I have an altercation with my mom where I feel like, you know, there's what I didn't like how this interaction, like my mom maybe said something to me, my dad said something to me that I felt like it was mean, it was rude, like why did she say like that? Why did she say say that about me? I didn't really like what she said about me. But Wilfred, it's 7 p.m. You are in your room. Is your mom still talking to you? Is your dad still talking to you? No, they're not talking to you. So the thought has nothing to do with this moment. It has to do with something that happened back then, 5 minutes ago, 7 minutes ago, 7 hours ago, 20 days ago. So you see, I feel this because of this thought. And this thought has nothing to do with this present moment. And what I do then, because now I'm aware of the thought, I've created this space. So, okay, I can go to sleep. I can go to sleep with a sense of calmness, a sense of okay, so I know that is okay, it's fine. This is how I'm feeling. So I'm going to really allow it. I'm really going to allow myself to just feel this way because I know that I've identified with this thought. which has nothing to do with this present moment. I do not say, you know what, okay, because now I know that I'm not this thought, I'm not this feeling, then I have to be happy. Then I have to be, no, 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 no. Now I give myself the time to experience it. I allow it to be. And if I allow it to be, oh wow, I know that I will feel better the next day. I know that I'll wake up feeling so excited. I'll be at a higher vibration, because by the moment I just detach myself from the thought, I start up vibrating above it. So in the morning, I restart the button, I pray, I meditate, I stretch. So it's really about doing those things to really get self-aware. Yeah, I just love it. I really do. And I like you can go through that and experience that. It'll be very helpful for us. But before I close this, I'd like to talk about emotional awareness. Emotional awareness is the ability to know that you create form, you create thought. Oh, that thoughts create form. So how you feel has nothing to do with the situation, has to do with everything that you think about the situation. Actually, this is what I got from my counselor at UB. When she said it to me when I was doing my first semester, it really opened a lot of things. I was like, what? So how I feel right now is not a fact? Yeah. So it just cleared my mind, and I was able to enjoy our varsity school, and I still enjoy school. And another thing, I know that feelings ain't facts. Feelings are not facts, they're just pointers, that are information, because there's actually like your body telling you that you have identified with this thought and this thought says this. So do you really believe it? They're just information. Feelings ain't facts, Don't confuse them with facts. So we have come to the end of this podcast, which was self-awareness. Remember, self-awareness is self-love, and you cannot love another person if you don't love yourself. You cannot give what you don't have. Yeah, and that's the thing. I was reading Every Ten to Love by Marianne Williamson in the morning, and she was really giving me this useful ideas about how, if I treat someone like every encounter, like how I treat every encounter that I have in the present moment, how I treat another person is actually how I've already treated myself. If I love you, then I know that I've already loved myself, and actually the love will come back to me. If I hate someone, if I shame someone, if I laugh at someone, I've already shamed myself, laughed at myself. I've already done that to myself. So it's really a nice thing. So like I was saying, awareness is self-love. So be aware of yourself and just get to really realize that the real you is not this body that you are living in, is not the title that you give yourself, that you've been assigned, is not the experience that you are having at this moment, is not the feeling that you have, it's not the idea that you think or that your pseudo self has really given out to you. You're not your gender, your man, your self beliefs. You're not your culture. You're not your career. You're not your profession. You're not your grades. You're not that which is written on your birth certificate, on your graduation certificate. Yes, you are not your cafe. You're not your level of education. That's not who we are. You know, because those things are temporary, and you are infinite. You're not temporary, we are infinite. So you wouldn't want to really identify yourself or define yourself with something which is not you, which is temporary. And with this, you'll be able to create the life that you want. You'll be able to experience life for what it is, which is just a joyride that will always accompany or be accompanied by challenges that let us know more about ourselves. And it's not easy doing that. It was never meant to be easy. because the mind doesn't want it to be easy. But it's each and everyone else's responsibility to do it, you know. Yeah. So have fun, be self-aware, and take this week to really be self-aware and know what is it that you have really identified with, and know what it is that you have to really work on. Get in touch with your feelings, which will lead you to your thoughts, and work on that. And leave comments, share this, like it, subscribe if you really loved what you heard, and share it if you think it will be useful to another person. And yeah, you can leave questions in the comment section. I would attend to them, and give out any other topic which you think you want me to really talk about, because I'll be giving out it's 4 episodes per month, but on the the fourth episode is actually coming out from people like, what did you want me to talk about? I'll just take it and talk about it. So yeah, thank you. I really enjoyed this. And remember, it was never personal. Not only with Yame Wilfred, but with everyone. It was never personal. Life was never personal. Life is not personal. Thank you so much. This is It Was Never Personal by Yame Wilfred. Thank you and bye. See you next week, Friday, 2 p.m. here. Bye.